Here's Brody Brazil.
Hey, welcome back to this series, the 2023 Player Profiles for the Oakland A's. This time around, one of my favorites. I'm excited to discuss the prospect of Nick Allen for this upcoming baseball season. Let's look back first on the basics. He's going to be 24 years old on opening day. He comes in with 126 days of Major League service time. All of that took place in a couple different stints last year. Love the fact that he's a homegrown product. He was drafted by the A's, third round of the 2017 Big League Draft. Yeah, made his Big League debut last year, up, down, finally stayed up through the final, month and a half of the regular season, once there was a shortstop job that was open on a regular basis. I want to skip back real quick to 2021. During that baseball season, I believe he made his AA and AAA debuts, so he escalated through the ranks of the A's organization, but he also went to the Tokyo Olympics, represented Team USA, part of that club that won a silver medal. He was also named the best defensive player of any player and team in that tournament. So he was noticed for his glove in the Tokyo Olympics, and he's got a lot of accolades across the years. A lot of people have been so excited about Nick Allen. How do we judge? How do we break down the first big league season? I mean, it was segmented. He only hit 207, 4 dingers, 19 RBI in 100 games played, but all of this across 3 different stints. It was up, down, and then finally that last big chunk of games after the shortstop position opened up and he could make regular starts. Looking at the splits, I'm sure he knows this, at least feels this. Hit really well against lefties, 276. It's the righties where his average was about 100 points lower. Now, a lot of guys have similar splits where one side is different than the other, but 100 points, it's something worth taking note of. And hey, hopefully that's an area that he can improve on. You know, getting regular at-bats. You want to be the everyday shortstop for this team. Hopefully that is something that improves. Of those 4 homers, I know he'd probably like more. I don't know if necessarily that's his game. I love to see this guy hit line drives. 3 of his 4 dingers came on the road, so away from the Coliseum. I don't know if that's completely surprising at all for anybody, but all 4 of his dingers came against AL West opponents. So if he knew when to hit them, they always came in timely fashion, and that can be appreciated. He had a 150 batting average with runners in scoring position, so hopefully coming through in the clutch happens a little bit more for Nick, who batted 9th, and we'll talk more about that, why that's not a bad thing. That actually might be a great spot and thing for him in the future. Where did he start games defensively? Well, 57 at shortstop. And again, I think 43 of those happened after the team released Elvis Andrus late in the year before he went to Chicago. But he also started 35 games at second. That was before, I should say, that was when Elvis was still on the team. So look, can play both middle infield spots. I think it's clear for the A's, he's their shortstop. That's where they want him in the future. That's where he'll start off this year. So now that position is open, it's his for the taking and hopefully for the keeping. 67 games started for him batting in the 9-hole. Now, he led the team batting 9th with those 67 starts. Like, nobody batted 9th more than he did. And he was only around for 100 games. And I'll get to the average with 2 strikes in a second, but let me just say this. A player like Nick Allen, who can steal some bags, hitting 9th is not necessarily the knock here. Maybe this is a total double leadoff situation. Maybe this is a great thing for the A's. Maybe unleash a little bit more of his speed. He could steal some bases. He can get you from first to second base on a walk. So maybe this is a way that the A's can capitalize at the bottom of the lineup, and they've done this before. Elvis Andrus, his first year in Oakland, hit 9th and had success there. Bob Melvin just left him there. If I'm correct, Marcus Semien, when he had the wrist injury a couple years ago, same thing. Got comfortable in the 9-hole, did well there. Just keep him there. It's no statement that you're hitting 9th. That's just where you do best and where the team can stretch out their lineup the most. Yeah, the 104 average with 2 strikes. Obviously, you're seeing some of the pitcher's best stuff, the put-away pitches. That's definitely an area that he'd like to make better. But defensively, he's always been sure-handed. 978 fielding percentage at shortstop. Nothing to be upset about there. And then when he played in AAA last year, 46 games with the Aviators, 266 average, 16 ribs, and a .371 on-base percentage. So did have some success last year. The call-up with all the change and transition of the A's, didn't really know when he'd have the chance to kind of make that impact, but it started early. It happened more often later, but it was definitely the first taste of the big leagues for Nick Allen. So 2023 for this infielder, look, I think, and I told him this when I saw him the other day, actually, I hope for him that this can just be a fresh late season. Last year, a little bit segmented, a lot of things going on. Now you know what it's all about. You got to experience big league baseball. You know you can do this. You're a hard worker. You'll get yourself there. So the fresh slate for him, I do look forward to that. Because, last year was a lot of change. It was a lot of transition. The season, we didn't even know if and when it was going to start, let alone the fact that the A's were about to unload, all of their top talent and longest tenured players. Keeping the defense up. I know we talked a little bit here about some of the offensive struggles, righty versus lefty, lack of consistent batting average, or one that he'd want to keep. A matter of just playing good defense at shortstop. Such an important position up the middle. And don't ever let the offensive struggles leak into the field. You're known for your defense. That's always been your thing. Keep doing that. Have that as your foundation, and then we'll give it time for the at-bats to come around here. I already mentioned the potential double leadoff situation for him. Keep him in the 9 spot. Make that his thing. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Even when he finds success, consider keeping him there if you're Mark Kotsay. And last but not least, I want to throw this in because I've seen it firsthand. We're here in mid-January, and he's already at the team facility working out, getting his work in. It's not to say that others across the league or on this team are not, because they are. I've seen them there too. But you can kind of tell with Nick Allen how he got here is through hard work, and what's going to help him take the next steps is also hard work. So I like Nick Allen. I really look forward to him. Personally, I pull for the guy. I really want him to have, this year, I really want him to kind of throw a punch at it and have a really good year, make a mark. And, keep people as excited as they've always been about him. Now just do it at the big league level. I'm really excited for Nick Allen to do that this year. All right, let me know what you think about this video. Thumbs up if it provided you some value or entertainment. And consider subscribing to this channel. This player profile series will continue.